What is up? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Count them, 15 HomePods. We're not going to fix all 15 today, but we're going to see what we can come up with here. Let me get my screws organized. I can't work if these aren't where they should be. There we go. So, who should we start with first? I think I want to finish up Christopher's HomePod first, because I want to get that working again so I can get it tested, so I can make sure it's all good to go, especially when it took a software restore over USB to fix a blinking volume buttons problem. I'm always suspect that there's an underlying hardware issue. Unfortunately, when we took it apart for routine maintenance, something happened, and I don't know what that something was, but it lost its ability to produce any bass output. Quite unfortunate. It happens. It happens around here. Sometimes I make mistakes. The slip of a screwdriver, or maybe I'm just not, properly ESD protected. There could be a million different reasons why, but in any case, couldn't figure it out. I do have another amplifier here that I have refurbished that we can reuse. It's already got a new Schottky diode. It's already got new filters. I already tested it, so I know all of this should work. We're gonna go ahead and put Christopher's HomePod back together, and then let's see who else we've got here. Okay, so we've got a jack. Jack doesn't go there. Jack goes over here. We sold Jack an amplifier board a few weeks ago, and when they got it and tried to put their HomePod together, they're saying that they don't have, it was either no bass or no sound, something like that. So I gave them a few options. They could send just the amp back and I could take another look at that. Or they could send the whole HomePod in. And in any case, if it was, if we did somehow send them a bad amplifier or it got banged up along the way in shipping, then I'll cover the shipping both ways and, get them a working HomePod or amplifier board one way or another. If, however, we find that there is either nothing wrong or perhaps maybe some damage on the board from them trying to put it together. Not saying anything, but we've seen it all here. So when you've worked with electronics and I mean just in general in IT, you tend to trust other people's work less and less. So after Jack and his jacked amplifier, I think we will look at Nicholas. They've got just your normal HomePod with no power. Then we've got an anonymous no power. Then we've got Rich with no power. Scott's got a bricked pod. Then Adam, no power. Gonna need to make a new line here. Then we've got David. They're saying their bass cuts out after a certain period of time. That'll be an interesting one. We've got Joey. Joey's got no power. Eric also with no power. An anonymous death farts. And, well, I think that's all that I'm going to try to squeeze in for here and today. Goodness. Jeff! Oh my gosh. I will admit this time I forgot to email you last night. Let me do that right here and now. Here you are. I'm going to send you a fresh new email so that way you're not scrolling through our old thread. There we go. You should get an email from me any minute now. Whew. Okay. Alright, let me message Jack and Nicholas here, let them know that they're up next. I love this. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, when are you going to load? And cool. Okay. We have messaged the folks up for repair. Let's get Chris back together. And let's see if we can run into any interesting issues today. Now let's get you guys up close with this one here. Quick question from Jeff. Is it necessary to plug your HomePod into a secured power source for those to not get messed up against power outages? So, yeah. I always recommend anything that you don't want to have to replace from a power surge, you should have on a surge protector, and HomePod's included. Now, your HomePod shouldn't die just from unplugging it and plugging it in all the time. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of people out there that put these things on smart outlets, and they basically turn them off whenever they're not home. They turn these things on and off multiple times a day. No problems. Obviously, if you've got an underlying hardware issue, that might exacerbate something. But a perfectly working HomePod will be perfectly working. If you just whether you leave it plugged in all the time or you feel like unplugging it when you're not using it. That said, if your power is not stable at your house, I would recommend turning off automatic updates so that way your HomePod isn't by chance updating when your power goes out. That can cause problems. They're usually pretty good at recovering themselves, but they can break themselves, of course, through an interrupted software update. So the two options there that, I mean, you should really use in conjunction. If you want to keep it on all the time, you can put it on like a backup, like a UPS as well. But I would still at least use a surge protector. And make sure you're getting a proper surge protector too, not just some power tap that multiplies your outlets passively. You want a genuine surge protector from a reputable manufacturer, so don't go to the dollar store. And you want to look for ones that have status lights that light up when it's specifically like protected. I think it's the CyberPower. CyberPower tends to give you a certain value of sort of insurance. Like they'll replace anything that you plug into their stuff if it dies from a power surge. It's nice and sealed. If you're ever curious why I'm poking those subwoofers as I'm putting these together, that's to check and make sure it's all sealed. It's not a foolproof test. It doesn't catch 100% of the sealing issues, but it catches a good 80-90% of them. And if there is an issue with it sealing and I catch it, then at least I catch it right now before I put all the rest of this back together. I wouldn't recommend you go and stab your speakers yourself unless you really know what you're doing, because if you're not pushing it directly perpendicular, if you try to push it, if you're not pushing straight down, if you go at an angle, then you're going to scratch up that voice coil, and it'll still work. It might not last as long. Might not work quite as well. Get myself another mid-frame here. volume button had a little bit of goo on it. That'll make them look a little uneven when they're lit up. Okay. That should make for one happy HomePod for Christopher. Beautiful. We'll stick that on the test bench. Organize my parts pods over here too. There we go. Okay, what's up next? We've got Jack. Okay. Jack is an interesting case here because we sold him one of our refurbished amplifiers, and when they got it, they put it together, and let me look and see what it was. So their previous issue, I think, was no power. With our amplifier board, they got it turning on, but they're saying it has no sound. So let's see what we've got back here. All the screws. We've got all of this here. Okay, and yes, I did send them some extra parts. It took us a while longer than I promised them to send them an amplifier, so I sent them a few extra things. Just a few extra goodies, things that I typically see people break or also need along their self-repair, HomePod repair journey. Let's get this off here. Get our parts all organized. And this looks like... Is this the one that I sent them? No, this one's got a tear in it now. We got a tiny little tear right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, we got an itty bitty little tear right there. I do think that is at a pretty important spot. You don't want any rips there. So I'm going to keep that. I don't want anybody trying to reuse that and causing any issues or damage. I'm actually just gonna finish the job there so I don't get it mixed up. Rest in peace. I do know somebody that surprisingly repairs those cables. It's actually pretty insane. You guys thought I was any good at any of this. Try watching people that repair ripped ribbon cables. That's some crazy stuff. Alright, so normally, obviously, I usually test what we've got in front of us to see and or try to reproduce the issues before we dig into it. But this time around, due to it already being kind of halfway apart, and I did tell them when they're putting it back together to send it to us, don't worry about plugging everything back in, just make it all safe and secure so it doesn't get beat up on the way to us. So what we're going to do, we're going to get all of this taken apart, and then we're going to put it back together externally to see if we can find any issues. So go ahead and get these out. Anthony, what is up? Welcome, welcome. Listening to me with a live going on in my pocket. Oh, bored at work. Yes. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make sure that's not stuck to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and replace this shell because they had to, looks like they had to cut it open, and their plan was to glue it back together, but I don't want them doing that. High likeliness this won't seal no matter how much you glue it back together, and if it does seal with the glue, it's not going to last. Looks like they plugged the subwoofer back in. And, oh. Okay. Yeah, I'll give that to you, Jack. That was really glued in there. I'll just put that in the recycling bin. And I don't know, actually this looks okay. Okay, so it looks like they did try replacing the ribbon cable, which is a good move. That other one was indeed damaged. Let's get this power supply out of here. Looks like they did get that right. Oh, I totally forgot to switch the name on the frickin' screen there. There we go. And my camera's acting funny. There we go. All right, we are down to the good stuff. Well, let me look here really quick. That's kind of crooked, but I don't think that's gonna cause no sound. The ribbon cable looks good. we're gonna need to screw that back in. Actually, I'm just gonna replace this whole mesh, or this whole shell, because it's kinda scratched up there. But I mean, I don't see any reasons in here why this wouldn't work. Alright, here's how we're going to test this. I've got a spare ribbon cable here, already taken out of a HomePod. I'm going to get that connected. I'm going to grab their power supply. We'll pop a few of those screws in, we don't need them all. Just enough to keep it from going anywhere. I'm going to pop one of these tweeters on there so we can hear it. I'm going to plug this subwoofer in too. I can hear if it's working just with the subwoofer plugged in, but it's pretty hard to pick up on the microphone, so we'll connect a tweeter speaker here too, so it's easier for you guys to hear if this works or not. I'm kind of expecting this to work no problems. Alright, that might be a little more difficult than I anticipated. Let's try over here. Only need one of them to hear stuff. We'll grab their logic board and display here. And this will let me plug this into power. All right, fingers crossed. I'm a little nervous here. Oh, okay, it's turning on. I don't hear any funny noises yet. Jason, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. And nothing. No sound. Well, okay, so they weren't lying. And so it's not the ribbon cable. It's obviously not the microphone. The power supply wouldn't cause this. The only, well, yeah, two things can cause this at this point. It's either our amplifier board or their logic board. And I have killed the sound on logic boards before mishandling them. So, let's try that first. I'm going to try my logic board and their display. I have never seen a display cause no sound, but you never know. Let's see, that's my logic board, right? Yeah, okay. This is not the board from last night. This is a board that we sold Jack a few weeks ago. When they got it, it was not producing sound for them. And right now we're trying to figure out why that is.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
So it's their logic board?
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah, that's making sound. And that is the amplifier we sent them. That might be, oh. What's going on there? No, that wouldn't be it. I don't see any reason why this would just stop working. For good measure though, let's go ahead and try this logic board with a different amplifier. I have seen logic boards not play nice with amplifiers until you get them reset. And they did try to reset it. I mean, obviously it's factory reset now. Let's see here. Frankly, I would have rather this been an issue with the amplifier that I sold them than it being an issue with their logic board not producing sound all of a sudden. But that is the case here. So, I mean, I don't like that because now they have to either spend more money or give up on this, and I have to give up another logic board. Unless we can figure out how to fix this. But unfortunately, I've ran into this a few times through my own negligence as well. I believe it's just there's probably a line or two on here that's extra sensitive to ESD, or maybe the original no power issue killed the sound on the logic board. So we're not sure. Actually, I like that theory. I'm gonna have to go down that theory. That might give us some hints to maybe fix this. Alright, well, we know what's wrong, we know what it's going to need now. I'll give Jack their options. Let's get all this put to the side. Give me my cable back. And my tweeter. Gotta be careful if you're trying that yourself. You don't want to... There's plenty of stuff on the back side of that board for you to accidentally short things out on back there. So just be careful. I'll go ahead and put those other screws in for now, just for good measure. Okay. Oh, almost forgot their subwoofer. And their microphone board. Let's see. I'll go ahead and clean these up too. Who do we have next? We've got Nicholas. Let's shoot Nicholas a link to watch. Oh, Jack, you made it. Glad you could make it. I don't know how much of that you caught, but Nicholas. Here we go. Yeah, I will shoot you a text message if you can wait till after our stream here, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what we found and what your options are. But I'll try to make it as best as we can for you here, given the circumstances. Feel free to hang out and watch us work some magic on the rest of these here. All right. Nicholas has been messaged. Let's shoot number 267 a message that they're up next. And who would that be? Number 267. We texted them. Ooh. Is that the right one? 267? 267? That doesn't make sense. Give me 1 second, folks. I need to figure out what's going on with number 267 here, because apparently that one we've already done. I think I figured it out. Ah, that's why. They are number 287, not 267. Hold up. I can fix this. There we go. now that that mystery has been solved, we can message the right person and let them know they're up next. And we'll fix that on the screen. All right. Let's see what's wrong with Nicholas's HomePod here. Let's do some more exciting stuff. No lights, no power. The usual power draw from our kilowatt meter. That tells us we've got the usual dead diode. Let's get this cracked open and make it working better than new. How are you going to do that, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. We start with some new filters on the amp, since those are ceramic capacitors, and all ceramics tend to decay and lose their effectiveness over time. Inside of the HomePod, this results in death farts and all sorts of bass issues. So we like to prevent that. We like to prevent the more expensive repairs if we can. And then we'll tackle the actual power problem by replacing the Schottky diode that probably failed and caused this with a bigger, better, stronger, higher quality in every way. It's the diode to use, at least for here. It won't fail again, and the only reason these diodes are failing is due to a quality control issue with the diodes in particular. There are date codes on the diodes, and we've been able to correlate a certain batch of them that have been failing for no good reason. I've spoken to a number of engineers over the years that work in various areas of things that involve Schottky diodes, and they all generally say the same thing, that it's pretty unheard of for a Schottky diode to just fail for no reason. But we found one, that's for sure. And that is that's whatever Diodes Incorporated was smoking those 2 weeks that they were making these. And we've seen plenty, dozens of other date codes, both newer and older, all used in the same HomePods. It's only 2 particular date codes that keep failing, and those 2 date codes are right next to each other. So correlation isn't always causation. You got to be careful with that. But it's we just continue to see nothing but thousands of cases that indicate such is happening here. Alright, get a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. This is 99%, the good stuff. A little pro tip for you folks working on these yourself. I didn't show this in my original teardown how-to, but if you stick a little bit of rubbing alcohol in between the speaker and the subwoofer basket, and you swirl it around a few times, that should soak into the glue that holds this basket down. And when we go to pry it up, it should come up like butter. Oh, there goes that one. I'll just put another one in the pile there. Send me snacks. Oh, yes, please. I love to eat. And if you send me something that I happen to not like, then my wife or kid, they're far less picky than I am. Oh, I forgot to pry that off. Not a problem. Subwoofer smells fine and dandy. Let's get the rest of this glue off of here. I don't like this stuff. It has no purpose here, other than to make people's lives more difficult. Oof. I don't trust that one. There we go. Beautiful. And let's get this out of here. Oh, 2 seconds from stripping. Nope, there goes that one. I'll step on that later. Hoping to brag. I know you tell me to take my time, but I feel bad every day that I can't get to it. If I can get through these HomePods today, then we can take a look at the fun stuff tomorrow. But that's provided we can zoom through these. No problems. No problems. My nightmare is making you wait another month for that thing. And that's including the time it's going to take to ship it back to you. Well, at least like the post is done striking now. I hope they got what they were looking for. I've got your iPod, I've got Aaron's radio, and I've got Lumens's BlendJet blender. Which is kind of ironic, because about 2 years ago, I had I think like the CEO of BlendJet send their HomePod in for repair. And then they gave me a coupon code for a free BlendJet. And you bet I got one. It's beautiful. Use it every few days. I love my BlendJet. Not sponsored, but they did give me a free one. And they paid for the repair too, so I got a pretty sweet deal out of that. I was happy to charge him, or happy to give it to him for that. The BlendJet was worth well more than I charged for the repair. But here we are. Now we're looking at, hopefully tomorrow we'll be looking at someone's blend jet. I got a chance to play with it, and it turns on like it lights up, but it doesn't actually blend. It doesn't turn the motor on. And it knows that the cup is attached. It knows it's put together. It just doesn't do nothing. There we go. Some fancy fresh filters on there. Let's flip it around and let's get that dead diode out of here. What's our date code going to be? 46K or 48K? Those are the two that we're always looking out for. And it's a 48K. There you have it. Let's get rid of it. For you folks keeping track at home, go ahead and give a tally to the 48Ks. Those 46Ks were catching up for a while there. It might be time to retire my little scrap of soldering mat here. Every time I touch it with my tweezers, a piece of it comes off. It's held up quite well these past 3 years. A little more than 3 years now. Actually, I don't think I got this one. I think I started fixing HomePods, and then a few weeks or months after into it, I got the mat. I believe I was soldering on a cork mat in the beginning. That didn't last very long. The red pieces are remnants of the old Weller mat, yes. I liked it so much. I liked this particular piece so much, and these. I haven't found any other soldering mat on the market that has the screw pieces on the right hand side like this. They all put them on the left. Oh, you get in there. That's what I thought. I'm gonna replace that one. I don't like that. There we go. And power.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble.
Yeah, shut it. Alright. Let's get switched up for number 287 here. After that, we've got Rich with some DC offset symptoms. Here we go, no lights, no power. We've got 2 to 3 watts of power draw from the wall. So this does not seem like the usual dead diode. Boy, has that started to become the theme more often around here. Let's see what we've got. Maybe we've just maybe we do have a dead diode that's pulling a little less power than usual. But that is usually a short on the logic board for that kind of power draw. So we can confirm that here once we get the logic board off, and we'll put a known good one on there. Oh, let's see really quick if it's our logic board. Haha, told ya. Alright. And I believe my thermal camera is all charged up. So this should be pretty easy to figure out. We'll take... Actually, I gotta unplug that so I can unplug this. So we can take this shield off. We need to get this one off too, because it could be on either side. All right. Where's our short? We're getting real hot in this area, but that looks like it's coming from the other side of the board. So let's flip this around very carefully. And yep, sure enough, we see some stuff getting hot here. We've got a chip here that's getting hot, but that's probably not its fault. We've got this big capacitor here that's getting real hot. And that looks to be it. Let's just make sure here. Yep. We found our guy. Okay. Let's get that pulled off and see if it was that easy. We do want to be mindful of the angle that we're sticking this. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to stick a thermal pad next to that NAND so we don't mess it up. There. That'll do. Got it off. Let's see if that was our short. Oh. Yeah, buddy. First try. Let me grab a parts board. For ports. And put some fresh solder on there. And we'll get ourselves a new one. kind of thermal camera is that? That is a Cat as in, yes, the construction company Cat S62. It is an Android phone with a thermal camera built in. It's not a great thermal camera, but it gets the job done. I bought it for other reasons, but with the benefit of being able to use it for stuff like this. Mostly to try to get our app at my day job working with the thermal camera. That didn't go anywhere, unfortunately. All right. All right, you can quiet down now. Thank you. All right, let's cap it off. We'll bend all this back into shape. There you go. I don't want to unplug this right now because it could be in the middle of an update. It could have died in the middle of an update, and I don't want to give myself more trouble. We'll let it fully turn on first, and then what we're going to do is we're going to tear this sucker all the way down. And we're going to do the rest of the hardware maintenance to this that we do to all HomePods to keep issues from happening. That is the diode for no power, the filters for farts and bass issues, the subwoofer gasket, and anything else that might look gnarly or nasty. But that is working.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Well, let's do it. Hold up. Wife is texting me. Family first, folks. What temp do I have it set at? 480 to 500. About as hot as it'll go. And I have the fan cranked up almost all the way to like 80-90%. The only time I really ever touch my settings is if I'm working on the NAND on the logic board. Very good. Do we need a new diode? Ooh, yes we do. We've got a 46K there. So had it not been that short on the logic board, this probably would have come to us eventually for this diode failing. We'll stop that from happening at least. No, it won't work without it. You need it. It's actually a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. That's not annoying. I'm about to replace that sucker. If you lost that capacitor and you ripped the pads off for it, or it's too difficult for you to put a new one back on there, you can run a trace wire from the appropriate pin on the step down, the TPS, to a bigger capacitor. Still 0.1 microfarad, but a larger one. Make it easier. And then the other end of the trace wire goes to the big pad of the diode. I'll show you what I mean on the next amplifier board that we take apart here. We had to do that on a HomePod a few streams ago, actually. We were just trying to get rid of a solder ball that had squeezed out. It was stuck to that little capacitor next to the diode. And it broke the capacitor right off the board and broke one of the pads off the board. So I had to run a trace wire from the step down to a new capacitor, and then from the other end of the capacitor to the big pad on the diode. Oh, I was gonna say you better turn on. Rich. After that, we've got Scott. Scott has been messaged.
I'm having trouble connecting.
287
I'm having trouble connecting.
is working. Ah. That's what I thought, Siri. Here we go. What's up with Rich here? We've got no lights, no power, no nothing. The usual power draw from our kilowatt meter for a dead diode. That's what I expect to see. We are clearing that queue. Heck yes. Let's go. I don't do squeaky noises. I don't like noises. There, that should prevent that from making noises. I have a callus building up on this part of my hand from doing this so much. Alright, Zoom was taken. If you are still here with us, I'll show you really quick what I was talking about. Here's your shot key. Oh, look at that, a 48K data diode. So that is definitely our problem here. But this is the capacitor that I assume you're talking about here. This is the one that people most often lose trying their own repairs. This is a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. You know, you can get one that's like 50 or 100 volts rated. That'll work fine. Voltage rating doesn't matter too much on this, and you're not going to find one too low and in this size. What matters is the 0.1 microfarad capacitance. If you lose this capacitor and or damage the pads for this capacitor and or you aren't able to replace it, there is a workaround. You can get a physically larger capacitor, same capacitance, 0.1 microfarad. Try to get one that's at least 100, rated 100 volts. And what you do is you run a trace wire from this pin on the step-down converter. This top right pin on the step-down. You'll run a trace wire to one side of your capacitor here, and then you'll run another trace wire from the other end of your capacitor to the big pad of your diode. So obviously replace your diode, get a new one on there, and then run that trace wire to this big cap. You can have the cap floating, you can sit it on top of here, but I think the easiest is to just kind of have it floating above the rest of this stuff here. So that's how you do it. If you can't get that cap replaced, if you're having troubles, that's a possible workaround for you. We've done it a few dozen times here. We've broken those pads. We've had people send their boards in to have us save it for them, and that's usually the workaround that I do. Let's get these filters replaced first, so this doesn't come back to us for death farts and all sorts of bass issues. It'll take about 30 to 40 seconds. If you're having problems, try preheating the underside of the board for about 15-20 seconds, and then put the board down and go right to the diode and hit it for another 30 to 40 seconds, and that should get it off for you. But go ahead and count how long it takes us to do it here. This is with our gun at 480. Yeah, it was less than 30 seconds, I think, just about. But you're not gonna cook anything hitting it for like 30 to 40 seconds. You'll be fine. Just try to only touch the diode when you're pushing the diode off. Try not to touch the board itself. And like I do, try to push it straight down and off the board. That's how you can avoid more catastrophe. All right. Yes. See here.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble.
Perfect.
I'm having.
Yes. All right. We are now going to look at Scott's HomePod here. Scott is bricked. Let's see what kind of brick they've got. Is it the blinkies? Is it an eternal boot? We've got the blinkies. All right. Let's attempt a USB restore. We'll get this out of there. Oh, my dock is in the living room. Hold on. Wait. Trying to fix another HomePod last night. Didn't work. Whoa. All right. Y'all want to see my screen? Ooh, that is a rare IP address that I have been assigned today. Okay. Oh yeah, let me do not disturb myself so people don't dox themselves asking me where their stuff's at. And if you'll all avert your eyes so I can log in. Thank you. Here we are. Let's get our USB cable plugged in. Let's get power plugged into the HomePod. And let's send it. Fingers crossed. Come on, come on, come on. Why don't I use DHCP reservations? Frankly, I'm lazy. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I really need to. I've gotten half of my HomePods statically assigned already. I've got my SSID split up between 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. That seems to work the best with these, at least. I don't like them hopping around. I like control. Hey, would you look at that? It is restoring. Beautiful. So what we'll do is I'm going to carefully put my laptop down to the side here on the ground. Let's make sure that's still going. Yes, it is. Cool. We're going to let that continue to restore in the background, since that could take 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes. And we're going to take a look now at Adam's HomePod. Ooh, I am using my kilowatt power cable, so I don't know what the power draw of this one will be. This will be interesting. I'll put that up there so you guys can see them. Yes, we're going to multitask here. I love multitasking. It satisfies my ADHD. Alright, so we've got a power cable here. We can at least make sure that it does not turn on at all. And chances are it's that same diode that we usually replace. So let's get it. I'll make a reservation when it pisses me off enough. Probably the next time it changes, I'll say screw it and do it in the middle of a stream. Oh, there we go. Dusty. Where is our restore? We're at 42%. Looking good. Alright, since I didn't get to see the power draw... Oh, yep, that's a 48K dated diode. Alright, let's get the filters first. I can't use the up-close camera because I have to put the board in the middle of the mat, which means I have to have my iron next to the HomePod here, and it'll turn off with all the speaker magnets right there. So we'll just do this from far away here. Very good. Got some new filters. Let's get the dead diode. Restore finished. Looks like Scott's HomePod took the USB restore. Let's see what it's got for us. Oh, let me go help my wife bring stuff in. Looks like she just pulled in. No, that's fine. Oh boy. Well, that looks like Scott restored without a problem. Calls for a celebration. Cheers, folks. Nice and fresh. Okay, so Scott's HomePod looks like it's working. Another case of Apple should be restoring these and selling USB adapters to their customers instead of telling them and selling them new ones. But that is okay. That's what we're here for. Mike. I think I'm fixing stuff, but I'm not too sure. Sometimes I think I'm fixing something and it ends up just working worse. Oh, let's take this perfectly good HomePod and kill the amplifier. Good job, Nick. Yeah, we got him fixed up though. Can I fix your marriage? I mean, maybe. Not everything can be fixed, but depending on what broke it, we might be able to fix that too. Yellow. Yellow. I'll take that. Look at that, we got Adam all working again. Let's see here.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
All right. We are on a roll here, and we're gonna keep it going. Here we've got David's HomePod. They're saying their bass cuts out after using it for a few seconds. Where's my mouse? If you want overnight delivery for Sunday delivery, you're gonna have to pay $11. $10 ain't quite gonna cut it.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Alright, so the base works fine now.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
And I don't hear any major concerns. No, like, loud popping, at least. Alright, so actually what I'm going to do with David's here, I don't want to take it apart quite yet. I want to at least confirm the issue. So what I'm going to do is set it over to the side here, get it plugged into some power, and we're just going to poke it every once in a while and see if we can at least catch the problem. David also said take your time getting to ours, since they're not even home right now. They won't be for a while, and we're gonna take them up on that since we are running out of time here. So that means we're gonna look at Joey's now. Number 272. They've got no power. Let's pull up their info and shoot them a message. Alright, Joey has been messaged. We might as well let Eric know that they're coming up soon here. Awesome. Joey. Joey. What have you got for us? No lights, no power, 6 watts from the wall. Listen here, Mike. I don't actually know what I was gonna say. All right, fine. You want me to work on yours next? Here. How about this? Up next here we've got Mike and his HomePod. And we're done. Mike's all fixed up. Let's move on to Joey here. Actually needed to do that so I wouldn't forget. Yeah, your brother sent me a message and said he's gonna swing by later today to pick it up for you. So that's all ready to go for him. Didn't know you guys lived so close. What do you mean you don't have a brother? Of course I didn't check and make sure. I just trusted the guy. He said, "Hey, I'm that one guy's brother that you fixed. He wants me to pick up his HomePod for him." I was like, "Oh, okay, here you go." I am right off the highway, so if you have to hitchhike from the airport to here, at least it's a short walk when you take the exit. But I do charge a $200 pickup fee since I gotta sit around and wait for you to show up, you know. Hey man, those 10 minutes, I could use those 10 minutes to fix another HomePod. You're not paying for my parts, you're paying for my time. $10 hours.
Apparently I completed a challenge at Target. They give me a free year of Circle 360 for delivery and stuff.
You complained to Target?
Completed a challenge.
Oh.
Like, you know how they have in the app, like you just
Oh.
do whatever, you get a bonus.
You got the thing that I got?
Yeah, they gave me a free membership for a year, so we're good for another year.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
A bridge! Bridge! There we go. Oh, you get back over here. Oh yeah. Where's that, is that this one? No. Where did... Yeah, whatever. Alright, now let's get that dead diode for no power. 46K dated, of course. Real talk, I'm pretty sure, I that bridge would have been fine. I'd have to double check, but those capacitors are 2 sets of parallel in series, so they all connect to each other in some way or another. That might have been fine to leave. Nah, it won't be just diodes. I'll throw a stinky subwoofer in there for you too. I'll make sure you get a complete, well-rounded nutritional breakfast. Or at the least some kind of cancer. Oh, I'll hide one Lego piece somewhere in the box in the packing material. I'll wrap it up in like some of the paper packing material, and when you have to unwrap it, you won't notice it fall onto the floor, and you'll be walking around and you'll step on that Lego piece. Yeah, I'll make sure I do that. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where you live, break into your house, take a picture of your flooring, and then have a custom Lego brick made, paint matched to your flooring, so that it blends in perfectly. I worry that the trans clear one would might be a little too noticeable still. Uh-oh, someone didn't like that joke and left the live stream. I'm sorry. Or maybe they just didn't like me talking. I don't blame them. You want one of these gaskets? These gaskets are starting to get pretty hard to come by. I've basically bought out all of the stock from everywhere you can buy them without paying more than a freaking $1 a piece for them. Am I missing something? There we go. Yeah, I'll chuck a gasket in there for you. Let me put it on there now so I don't forget. Say something. I gave you plenty of time.
I'm having trouble connecting.
There we go. Yes. We are nearing the end of our queue here. Well, I mean, we still need to do the hardware maintenance on Scott's bricked pod, but that's easy. Eric with no power. Let's see what their deal is. No lights, no power, couple of watts from the wall. That all looks like the usual dead diode to me. Let's get it fixed. Ooh. I can't even cut that part of my hand now. It's been cut and scarred and calloused so many times. I am becoming HomePod. There, I do it again. Yep, not a scratch. I'll save you. Whew. YT Pro, welcome. That liquid that you see us putting on here is flux. Flux is one of the most important parts of soldering. These pads here in copper and solder practically immediately corrode as soon as they are exposed to oxygen in the atmosphere. Flux reacts with the heat to remove that corrosion, to give you a proper alloy bond for your parts, and not a cold solder joint that can fall and break apart easily. And that is it. We'll get this one together. We'll wipe out DC 273. We'll do some maintenance to, I think it was Scott's brick pod. And that'll be everything for today. I still have 2 more HomePods that showed up today that need to get fixed, but we'll save those for tomorrow. Everything that we fixed up today was everything that showed up yesterday. Well, except for, I think number 273. I think I've had theirs for a day now. I don't know how, I don't know how theirs hid for that long. I normally get to them a little quicker than this. Oh, best of luck. Take it slow and take it easy. Feel free to hit me up with any questions or help that you might need instead of breaking anything. I'd rather give you a few minutes of my time for free than sell you some of my parts because you broke something from a preventable mistake. Germany. Germany? What time is it in Germany right now? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. But yes, I ship to Germany. Mike knows. Mike knows. Those simple export rates, man, those are absolutely killer. It used to cost like 25, 35 bucks to ship my USB adapters across the world. 14 bucks now, flat, anywhere. It's wonderful. Or like $12.99 or something. But if you're trying to get a HomePod repair, there are 2 other people already in Germany offering repair services. I have their info listed on my website. If you're looking for parts, I can hook you up. Eric! Oh, glad you guys could make it. Well, don't get too excited yet. This still has a chance of completely exploding when we go to plug it in. But I have high hopes here. How much for the parts to build a HomePod? I know you're joking, but there was a video recently done by Stranger Parts. I think it was Strange Parts. I think a few people have done this now, but they went... Oh, no. Okay. Spare Parts went to China and built an iPhone from parts that they bought from the market. And then Hugh Jeffries challenged himself to build an iPhone out of parts off of just AliExpress. And both of them came to the same conclusion, which was, I mean, to no one's surprise, it's not going to be cheaper to piece together the parts to build your own iPhone, because the sellers of those parts are going to, they're going to need to make money off those parts. So it might seem cheaper at first, but it will cost you more than just buying a HomePod to purchase all the parts through me. I mean, you could probably do the math if you head to my shop website, see how much it would theoretically cost if you needed to purchase all the parts from me. If it's not on my website, then like the shell, the tweeter speakers, if you bought all the other parts, I would give you those for free. But you would need a logic board for $60, an amplifier for $60, a display for $30, a power supply for I think $25 or $30. You'd be paying about about $220 to $260, I think. I have ordered flux with the solder in it. You think I can use this, or should I buy flux by itself? You absolutely want to buy a dedicated tube of flux like what I've got. You do not want to count on the flux that's built into your solder. That will not get you very far. Alright, it's turning on, it's not exploding. That leaves us with one more repair here.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app. I'm having trouble connecting to the...
We're getting there. They're going. Where are they going? No one knows. Well, they know. So what have we got here? How bad have those filters gotten? Has it roasted the woofer? Talk to me. Say something. Anything.
I'm having having trouble connecting to the internet.
Oh. Okay. So we've got some popping. I can hear it. Hopefully the subwoofer hasn't gotten roasted. I'm sure that popping would be a lot worse if we left it plugged in and let it warm up, as is the nature of those capacitors and their typical failure mode. As they age, they get worse at filtering DC voltage, and as they get worse at filtering DC voltage, the more that heat will affect their issue for the worse. So I'm not going to let this sit around and cook itself just to hear the problem we all know it's got. Let's get it fixed. Got him. Need a second after that. Let's clean this up. Okay. Our subwoofer has survived. Alright, I see some stuff. Let's get those filters first. Alright, the stuff that I saw was our 10 ohm resistor here. It's looking a little rough. You see those darker spots in the middle of it. It should look more even. Let's get that replaced. And that should make this one happy HomePod. Zoom, if you shoot me an email, I will shoot you a photo that I edited with the workaround. It's real simple. It's a really simple little infographic, but in case you didn't write any of that down, I've got it in an image format. I can send that to you. Just shoot me an email. Oh, the voltage of the capacitor. I think I've been using 100-volt caps. It hasn't seemed to really matter. But like 50 volts or better should be fine. But shoot me an email and I will confirm that with you and send you that infographic. Yeah, go with the highest rated voltage, the highest voltage rating you can find. The voltage rating won't hurt going too high, it'll only hurt going too low. At least for that particular part on the board. Uh-oh, the something isn't sealing game. I hate this game. It has to be the last HomePod to torture us. You know what? Because it wants to be the last one to put up a fight, I'm not going to put up with it. We're going to fix another one after this. Let's see if that makes it right. I think it's coming from... Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stick a little bit of glue on here. That should seal it up. Yeah, I'm gluing that back together. That's how you put it together in the first place. So not a big deal to glue that down. But it's the dust cap right here that is giving it a hard time not sealing. Poser, get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna glue it back together. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm an industry plant. Apple planted me here to make you guys think that someone was out here actually caring about these things.
trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
All right. That would appear fixed. Let's wrap this up with Scott's HomePod again. Earlier in our stream today, we succeeded in doing a USB restore to this HomePod. It brought it back from the Blinkies. And Scott did opt for the extra hardware maintenance and a warranty, so we're going to make sure that this can run for as long as possible. We'll take it apart, we'll give it some new filters, we'll see if it needs a new diode too, and then we'll wrap it up with a new subwoofer gasket. How much is just the Blinkies fix? Let me double check, because I just changed my pricing on this. You'll want to go to my website and check the estimates, of course, for current pricing. Let's see. It's $40 for just the software fix if it works, and that's with shipping both ways included. If you have your own shipping labels for both ways, that's $20. There's no warranty or anything, so I'll test it for as long as you want me to test it, and then I'll ship it back when you're happy. But if it needs anything else, then you'll have to pay to send it back and have me fix up whatever else may happen. Well, okay. It's $40 for the Blinkies fix, shipping both ways, if all it needs is the software restore. If it won't restore, then that means it needs hardware repair. And if it needs hardware repair, we might as well take it all the way apart and do the other maintenance too. So that's an $80 repair if it needs more work than a USB cable can fix. filters first, and then we'll see if it needs a new diode too. What? Oh, I'm wrapping the last one up now. Ooh, it does need a new diode for 8K. Yep, it's a good thing we're taking this apart. Mike, I can't fix you. You'd be a no fix. If you showed up in my mailbox, I'd just slap a return label on you and send you right back on your way. That said, I'd be happy to get a beer or two with you. Talk it out. See what's going on. I can be a shoulder to cry on. I can be your tissue box. Wait, no, I don't want to be your tissue box. But I will be a shoulder to cry on. I mean, what can I say? I'm not a licensed therapist or psychiatrist. I'm not certified for that kind of stuff. In Washington, you don't need to be certified for low voltage electronics repairs, so that's what we do. I suppose depending on what you need fixed, we could classify you as a low voltage electronics repair too, but I don't want to take on that responsibility. You know, then I gotta give you a warranty. I can't promise that I can keep you fixed. That's on you. Can't believe I'm returning you. You're lucky I'm returning you.
Alrighty, I got
All right. Well, I wasn't really expecting to clear that whole queue today, but we pretty much did it.
I'm having trouble connecting to
David's HomePod still has bass. That's interesting. Yes. All right, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. I need to go eat something before I collapse. I'm sure my wife is starting to feel the same way. Neither of us have eaten anything today, geez. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.